Here we're going to look at horizontal and vertical lines. So I want to just write down my smiley face to start about what each type of line looks like. So we have lines with positive slopes and negative slopes. Those are my eyes with their eyebrows, one where it's rising, one where it's falling. And then our nose is a vertical line. Its slope is undefined, so we have a U nose. And when we think about moving up and down this line, going up and down, you want to figure out what's staying the same. Is it X or Y? Well, as you move down to negative infinity, up to positive infinity, the Y value certainly changes. So these are always X equals a number. X is what stays the same. Versus the mouth has a slope of 0. That gives us our dimples. And as you move left to right along this line, the X value changes from negative infinity to positive infinity. It is the Y value that stays the same. Y equals a number. So we kind of have this summarized here on this page that every horizontal line, that one is our mouth, is always Y equals, and it has B here, that's just a number. So horizontal is Y equals a number, and the slope is 0. That's how we got our dimples. Versus a vertical line is always going to be X equals a number. That says X equals C, some constant. And the slope is undefined. We get our U nose. So we're going to practice this. Let's do a couple horizontal and vertical lines. Let's say we have the point is 3, negative 10. And we want to draw a vertical and horizontal line through it. So let's start with a vertical line equation. If you want it to be vertical, you know that it's X equals a number. And for this, we want to figure out which one is the X value. Is it the 3 or the 10, negative 10? It would be X equals 3. Horizontal is always Y equals a number. It's going to be Y equals whatever the Y value of the point is. So super fast. Normally linear functions are 3 steps: finding M, finding B, writing the equation, but not for vertical and horizontal. We have some space off to the side over here. Let's see, we have the point negative 4, negative 5. If you want to be a vertical line going through that, vertical is always X equals, and it's X equals whatever the X value of the point is. So it'd be X equals negative 4. Versus horizontal is always Y equals, and it's going to be Y equals whatever the Y value of the point is. So it'd be Y equals negative 5. So these should be super fast functions to write. So let's do all 3 types of linear equations that we know through this point, negative 2, 8. So we're going to be able to do the fast ones, vertical and horizontal, but we should also be able to do one with a regular slope of 3. So if we start with a horizontal line, it's through the point negative 2, 8. That horizontal line would, of course, have a slope of 0. And what is staying the same? Well, the X value is going to go from negative infinity to positive infinity. It's the Y value staying the same. The equation is Y equals 8. Versus vertical. Think about going a vertical line through the point negative 2, 8. The Y value is going to go down to negative infinity, up to positive infinity. But what's going to stay the same is always X equals a number. It's going to be X equals negative 2 is the X value at this point. And its slope would, of course, be undefined if we were asked. Lastly, we can have a more conventional slope, not one that is 0 or undefined. We have a slope of 3, which means we're going to use our 3 steps for a linear equation. Typically, anytime we're thinking a linear equation, unless it's horizontal or vertical, we're thinking first, what's the slope? Then we're thinking, what is B? So we'd write Y equals mx plus B, and we'll find B. And lastly, we want to write the equation. Our 3 steps for a linear function. Find M, find B, write the equation. So here we are given our slope. It says have a slope of 3. So it's nice. We don't even have to use the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The slope is given to us to be 3. Next, we're going to plug in a point to find what b is. We're given the point -2, 8. So I'm going to replace x with -2 and y with 8. So y is 8. The slope we're supposed to use is 3. The xy is -2, and we're solving for b. So we're just going to put a b there. So we're going to start with 3 times -2 is -6 plus b. We're going to add 6 to both sides. B is 8 plus 6, which is 14. And lastly, we want to write the overall equation. Y equals m x plus b. 3x plus 14. If we're not sure of our answer, we can try plugging in x and see if we get our y out. So for instance, I would do 3 times -2 plus 14. -6 plus 14, 14 minus 6 is 8. So when we plug in x, we do get out our y. So not necessary to check, but you can check. If you plug in x, do you really get out your y? Because if you do, that means you found b correctly. So there is our slope of 3 line that goes to the point -2, 8.